to operate the club. That money can only be used for capital, which is things like, new air conditioning, new tennis court surface, new equipment in the gym. Capital, that's what capital is. Repayment of the loan. It's not salaries, it's not food. That's what the operational stuff is. So the GL deal still does not affect the budget directly. Where it does affect the budget, when and if that when it closes, I shouldn't say if. There's nothing for if in it. It will knock out our mortgage, which, as you just saw, is roughly $230 a month per member. So there you can see a direct reduction in the dues. So that hopefully will be coming. But so I looked at Plan C, and go the slide I have, but skip the first slide. Skip that one. Okay. So someone up here asked who Concert Golf is. Well, we're not just looking at Concert. This happened to be a slide from Concert because they gave me a slide. They had a slide presentation, which I saw. We're actually talking to a couple other companies just like them, and plan on making a presentation to the board to see if this is an alternative for us. Some of us in the room are not happy with the dues we're at right now. And so even an increase makes us more unhappy. Some of us are not happy with assessments. I just said some of us. Some people like, there's the commercial on TV right now, I think it's Geico, where a guy's happy hitting his head on the door and getting his hand stuck in the vending machine. Maybe some people like this stuff. So we're looking at Plan C. And Plan C is basically a company that will come in here and buy us. And I can say there is more than interest. I actually have one company's already given us a contract. What does a company like this do? They pay off all our debt. All memberships become non-equity. They commit to doing all the capital improvements that I've been requesting. I've been requesting some substantial capital improvements, somewhere around $6 million immediately and another $8 million when the GL deal closes. They take over all our debt, our leases, obligations, and all our back bills. Basically, we are just kind of like when you were up north or wherever you came from, when you were members of the country club and you drove up to the door and you were a member of a private country club and you just enjoyed being a member of the private country club. The club will remain private, and they all guarantee no assessments ever. They all agree to reduce our dues from where they are now. I can't give you the exact number, but they will reduce our dues. They also would maintain our dues structure at no more than CPI increases. So it's definitely something to look at. I'm not going to give this a 30,000-foot view. I'm not asking anybody to make a decision right now. We plan on making a major presentation, if we're ready, in front of the board on Monday. The board hasn't seen all the deals yet. They've seen one of them. They've seen the concert deal. But they haven't seen all the deals yet. And hopefully the other companies we're talking to will have their presentations ready by Monday, and we'll go over it with them. At that point, we will be holding another informational meeting where we'll have those, if we like the deals. If we reject them, there won't be an information meeting. We'll have those companies come here and present to you, and nothing will happen unless we all vote on it. So that's what we're looking at as a Plan C. Which is, it's been exciting, but we'll keep looking and keep working. So, I'm now ready to open it up to questions. Don't ask me to get any more details on the Plan C, because I don't have any to give you right now. But Sean, myself, Paul, on the GL deal, Ron on some budget details, are here to answer questions, but I'm going to remind you again, I will not accept speeches. Any speeches, I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead. And you got it for our new secretary, where you're from and your name. Louder. You know what, Phil? I realize I'm supposed to do something before you start. I'd rather do it now. Yes. No, you're not Philip, but you got to wait there a second. I got a 5-minute presentation. Lee, come up here. I promised Lee that I would give him 5 minutes. Lee Raskovar is president of the POA, and he has a few words for you. And by the way, I said he's not buying the club.
Why not? Lots of reasons. Anyway, I am president of POA. My name is Lee Raskovar. There's a meeting coming up of the POA on December the 19th at 10:30 in the morning. And I would ask that everyone who lives in the South, as they leave, to please sign a proxy. And what that does is that gives us the right to have a quorum so that we can hold the meeting. And if you don't show up for the meeting, then we have the right to vote your proxy. If you do show up at the meeting, you can withdraw your proxy and vote how you will. But we do need to get enough proxies signed so we can have the meeting. So I just ask that as you leave, if you live on the South, please sign the proxy.
What's the purpose of the meeting?
The purpose of the meeting is the annual meeting of the POA, the homeowners in the South, the 10 courts of the South. And to select the board also. There's one annual meeting of the POA every year in December. It's December the 19th at 10:30 in the morning. It will be at Fountains Hall. Anyway, thank you.
And as you know, we support the POA, and with the POA we have a good working relationship. So, now, say your name again.
Philip Cantor, live at 6827 Parisian Way, in the Fountains. I'm speaking on behalf of just myself, even though my wife is on the board. And
we usually don't allow spouses of board members to go ahead.
It's okay. And I'm listening to this presentation. We've listened, at least for me, 15 years of presentations. And I do know that prosperity is around the corner, and there's a chicken in every pot. But I have a question, or two questions. The first question, am I correct in assuming that our membership has been declining?
Yes.
Okay. Next, am I correct in assuming that for the past several years, we've continued to have assessments?
Yes.
Okay. So, speaking for myself, you're asking me to invest in a losing business. Okay? I'm speaking for just myself. I own a business, successful business, and I couldn't invest in this. So I'm asking myself the question, and ask everybody the question, is our model completely wrong and need to be immediately changed, and to consider how we deal or not want to deal with a topic like mandatory membership. And maybe it's time we take the genie out of the box, because, Sean, you cannot guarantee us that the numbers, and you're in a bad spot, could be better. You can't guarantee us this.
There's no guarantee in life.
I can guarantee I love my grandchildren, so that's not true. All right? But that is basically what we're saying. So I think we as a community, instead of listening to the board, all right, for 15 years I've listened already that we're having prosperity, that our lawsuits are going to work, blah, 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 and maybe we should reconsider it.
Hey, Phil. Excuse me, Phil. Let me answer that, please.
Yes.
All right, two things. Number one, mandatory membership, and that's why the POA is having the vote, is the POA, not the country club. Number two, if you listen to my Plan C that I'm working on, it said no more mandatory membership.
But we need it sooner than later.
How do you know how fast that can come into play? If that deal closes, it will close by year end.
Let's see it. I'm at the point where I want to see
Not by year
it.
end. Let me take that back. I was being aggressive. We would have an agreement by year end. It takes about 90 days to close.
I would love to see it instead of hearing nothing but talk.
It's an alternative. It's an alternative. It's an alternative. I answered it wrong. It's an alternative. What I said about the POA, mandatory membership comes through the POA, not the country club.
Hi, Harvey Rudowitz, Oakmont. I have two questions. One of them, correct me if I'm wrong, under this operational assessment for expected 2017 loss to remain the same at 3840. Now, you say remain the same. originally, when that 320 assessment came about, wasn't that supposed to be for 7 months?
Yeah, that was for 2016. This is 2017. We've been telling you all along we've had a loss for 2017.
No, that was for 2017.
Your assessment that you're currently paying is the sins from 2016.
16.
So once it's over, I think you stop paying. It'll be on your December statement.
This is for the loss of 2017.
This will be your loss for 2018, which is
17.
sorry, 17 is around $2 million.
Unbelievable.
Which, by the way, we've been announcing at every board meeting for the last 3 months.
And the second question is, I mean, I can figure this out, in a few minutes, but rather than wasting my time, what is the bottom line on this? What is our dues? What's the total dollar amount?
Harvey, depending on what kind of member you are, what we're saying is
We're full equity members.
well, there's golf equity, there's social equity, there's tennis equity.
Golf members. What is our total
Calm down,
membership?
people. Calm down. We said the weighted average. I think the base on we didn't bring it with. We'll get it to you.
I mean, you don't know now what our membership dues will be.
Harvey,
based on
we
these
have
figures?
we have 32 memberships, and so I know the weighted average of the dues, and I know how much dues revenue we're going to get. Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Excuse me, don't you pay your bill? You should know what your bill is.
I know what my bill is, but what is it going to be for next year?
Ron will look it up.
I mean, I can't believe
Ron
after
will look
all
it
of
up.
this, you don't even have a number.
So what it looks like for the golf equity couple, your dues and fees is $16,015.
Total number.
Well, it looks like your total is going to be around $22,615. That's what it looks like it's going to be.
Okay, excuse me. That's why I'm going to repeat again. I mean, I know a lot of you are upset in here right now. This is the reality of what it costs to run this place.
And are we still one of the lowest paying?
I didn't say they're still in the average, Harvey. Yeah. All right, but let me repeat again. That is why I've been investigating Plan C. And Plan C is a viable option, which will lower our dues. Excuse me, I have the floor. Plan C is a viable option that we've been looking at since August. Hasn't just popped out of the bag. We saw